Hello, I'm Bethany from Bethany Wellness. Join me for what is downward facing dog pose. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today as we explore different yoga poses. Today's pose is downward facing dog pose, or if you like the Sanskrit, it's Adho Mukha Svanasana. So beginning in tabletop, so that is how we first access downward facing dog. And you can see what is tabletop in one of our other series if you're wanting to explore more about tabletop. On your hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under your hips, gaze down. Then we curl the toes as we prepare for downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift from your hips and your pelvis. Lift the hips high as you exhale into downward facing dog. And here you may wish to bring the feet in a little bit. You may wish to walk the hands out a little bit just to find your alignment. So our head is in between our arms. Our gaze is a little bit down and back. We want our head to be in alignment with the spine. And we're trying to let the heels melt down. So we're not holding the feet up. We're just letting the heels slowly release down. Now, if you feel any strain in the wrist, pay special attention to your hand placement. We should have even pressure in the 4 pressure points of our hands. So underneath the big thumb, kind of on each side of the wrist, and then along the fingers, kind of the pinky and the pointer finger. Also gently, slightly rotate or notice more pressure on the pad of muscle between your thumb and pointer finger. That usually helps bring some comfort to the wrists. So notice the benefits here. We're toning the upper body, we're toning the legs, we're stretching out the backs of the legs. A little bit of balance comes into play here. Then we have a little bit of heat that begins to build. So this pose is a wonderful pose to start to invite heat into your yoga practice. And then you can just return back into tabletop for the next pose or for whatever you'll be flowing into. So just keep in mind, downward facing dog is very much a transitional pose in a lot of yoga practices. If you're feeling fatigued in downward facing dog, you can always come back to tabletop and just take a moment of breath and rest. So thank you so much for joining me today as we explore what is downward facing dog. Be well.